Welcome everyone to Here for the Horses. So glad you've made it. We have a busy 1 hour. So let me kind of give you the rundown on what I want to get through and we'll see how much we get through of it. I'm going to show the quick video of taking the horses to the retirement home. If you guys haven't seen that, that was super fun. I did a little short reel with that. That was a good time. I did a video this week that I turned out called "Oh No, Mr. Bill." It was the little Arab that couldn't turn his head. Did you guys see that? So we can go
Yes.
over that real quick. I might not go over that if we don't have time. I want to talk about your homework for this week for Journey Through the Horse, which I have 2 things for you to do. I'm not going to go over the homework for last week, which was Ting Points, but check it out on the community page, the coaching community page, and watch some of the videos that were submitted. It was really cool. But I'll go over the homework for this week, which is going to be good. It's going to be good. And then I have a cool couple little videos that Jenny submitted to me about a new little Shetland pony that she got named Mac. And I'm so excited about this little nugget. And that's what I'm going to call him, a little nugget. Because he has some issues. And I love working with horses with issues. I like that. Because what you get to see is you get to see them turn into who they really are in front of your own eyes. And so it's a very special thing to be able to watch and be part of. And so it does come back to why this program and my work itself and my business is called Winning Your Horse's Heart, because you are literally winning their heart over. And I was just talking to somebody about this recently. And it's not easy, but it's so fulfilling to help horses to the point where you can tell that they have now like changed their mind about some things and change their position and their belief about whether it's just you, they just just change their mind about you, which is fine, or if it's about people in general. But it's so beautiful to see horses turn into who they really are that have been shut down. So we're going to talk about that last. I'm very excited about this little pony. And then I'll see if there's time for questions. Obviously, I always want to answer your questions. So nuts and bolts, because our group is getting a little bit bigger, please keep your mic muted, because if you don't, then anytime you don't, if you cough or something, it messes the recording up. But if you have anything you want to say, feel free to unmute and just say it. Or you can go to the chat, which is under the, Heather's here, which is under the more button with the 3 dots. If you click on that, it'll bring up a little screen. And at the top of that, it says chat, or you can hit Alt H, which I don't know how you would remember that, but Alt H also puts you in the chat. Okay. And you can shoot questions in there at any point in time. All right. Hi, Heather. Glad you're here. So let's first go and take a look at the video that I put up of going to the retirement home. I don't know if y'all saw that, but was it last week, Sue? Sue went with me. Sue was the managing assistant. That's the fancy name we gave her. And
Yes, it was last week,
yeah, last week on Tuesday, I believe.
Tuesday.
Yep. See, I got my stuff together. I know what's going on. We went to a retirement home called Heritage House, right 1 town over from me. And here we go. Hold on. Hold on. And we brought the horses. We had an awesome turnout. So we had 6 horses, and we didn't have as many residents as I normally have, so I was a little bit worried about that. But we had a bunch of residents, and I think they call us there because the people that work there also like horses. So they come out. But here's a little slideshow from that, so I'll let you watch that. I be feeling so bad, this up. Got me feeling so bad, this up. Yo, I'm feeling painful, painful. Every train that I pray for, cancel. I be feeling so bad, this up. Got me feeling so bad, this up. Yeah, I dream in color, but I live in moments. I see the world in stories, so I always told. I think I always had a knack for love. Only thing is I ain't know it, but it's funny how it changed when you notice it. How you gotta let go to get a hold of it. When we wrote a split up and then like there you go. So that was fun. That was a good time. We had 6 horses, amazing. They all did very well, of course. That huge one that you saw, his name is Bentley. He's a Black Forest, so that's a pretty rare breed. He's hilarious and kind of a fan favorite. And then we also had like a mini pony that matched him, so it was extra funny because there was like the big B and then the little B. And then Georgia there, of course, acting like she's like, please just, go ahead and touch my face. She's not a huge fan of that, but she does it because she's a good girl. And then Nadine was there with her horse. Sue came and helped. And then my other friend Nancy, her sister, came and helped. And then I had a couple other clients also that brought their horses. So that's a fun time. If any of you would like to do that in your own area, but you don't know how to get it started, it's super easy. Reach out to me and I'll tell you how to do it. But I literally called up the Heritage House and I said, hey, I have horses. Would you like me to bring them? I can even just walk them outside of the facility and put their face in the window for your people if you think that would be great. And they were all over it. I mean, it was scheduled 2 days later. So you can do that in your own area also. And it's fun for everybody involved. Everyone loves it. The horses love it, people, workers, everything. Okay, so that was kind of cool. That's a little Heritage House there. Let's see. Finn, did you all see the video I just put up about Finn? Let's go to, I'm going to go to the community page. This little Arab, little guy, he was all busted up. Yeah, this one here. Okay, hold on. Share screen. So you guys can see this video here, right? This was the intro video. Hello, everyone. I'm gonna mute myself. Can you all see how he's not turning his head properly? Yeah. Yeah, okay. I want you to see that stuff now. I want it to bother you. I want it to be annoying for you to see horses not moving their body properly. Okay. And then I want you to have ideas. Yeah, Kay's on board. I want you to have ideas about how you're going to fix it. Okay. So the poor little horse there could not turn his head. And I didn't know that. I was setting my camera up and then I look at him and I go, oh. So I want you to see it. I want you to see these things and go, well, that's not, why is he turning like this? That looks uncomfortable. Okay, so I sent out a video, or I think I posted it in the community page, but I made people, I don't know what I did. But I had people ask for it if they wanted to see how I fixed it. And then I showed the 8 minutes it took to fix. So if you go to my YouTube page, which is this one right here, here is the short video that shows that his neck is not turning properly. And then here's the whole 8 minutes it took me to fix it. Okay, so if you haven't seen that, you can just go to my YouTube page and it's right here. All right. And then also, yeah, I put up that other one, didn't I? The rest of that massage was not much better. So I also put up this. Who saw this? Watch me struggle.
I did.
Okay. I put this up this week. So this, watch me struggle. This massage was like an hour and 45 minutes. I don't ever massage horses that long, but I could not figure out why his back was jammed up. Okay. So feel free. It's 55 minutes long. So, you know, if you're ever bored and need need to waste 55 minutes, there you go. But I went through, I don't even know, because I don't want to sit through 55 minutes of something I just lived. But I was trying so many different things to fix this horse, and it was this side of his back from wither to loin. It just wouldn't loosen up. Okay. It wouldn't loosen up. I tried pushing this hip back. I tried loosening the ribs. I did all my hind end work, which you guys know is where I generally think back issues come from. Okay. I pushed his ribs from the other side, pushed those through. I mean, I was throwing everything I had at him. And who here, just unmute, who here can tell me what actually fixed it?
Belly lift.
Left.
Belly lift. The belly lift fixed it. Weird, you guys. I was like, I don't know, but I'm going to try everything that has to do with this section. I'm going to try everything. So the belly lift fixed it. And I'll show you what I'm talking about, because I'm pretty sure it's right around here. Okay, so it's right before here. I don't know what I'm doing there. Leg range of motion. Yeah, so I was working on the scapulas. I'm like, I don't know. Okay. Look at me just like looking around like, what am I? Oh, I just did it. I could tell. This is my victory clench. I was like, I got it. Okay, so check out this belly lift. Let's see if I can move this thing and get out of my way here. See that belly lift, you guys? That's real. That's when I got it. I was so excited. He had not released. He was licking and chewing, and that's it. But he hadn't done anything. There, okay? So this is right before the belly lift. I'm like, why is it still tight? Do you guys kind of see how it's still tight? Now I'm trying to move the ribs around. I was trying to push them back there. And I'm like, I don't know, let me try a belly lift. Look how much he lifts his belly. Look at that. That's good. Look at his little face. He's like, oh my gosh, what's happening? I was making him hold that belly lift. I do not normally make them hold it for that long. That was an aggressive belly lift. Here's a lick and chew. Look at his face. Yawn. And I was like, is that a yawn? Yes. Oh my gosh. And there's my relief. Like, finally, I can go home today. I will sleep tonight. Because that would have kept me up. I'll tell you the truth, that would have kept me up. Look at him, look at me, like, oh my gosh, you finally got it. Okay, this is where relief came for that horse. He had not yawned until this point. So what was really exciting, yeah, that section right there, bam, bam. Look at him now. What was really exciting was that what had happened at some point is that his back had gotten so tight but drawn down, and it was stuck like that, and he couldn't get it figured out. All right, so here we go, more. So the belly lift stretched out that spine and made him feel better and released him from that. Okay. So his spine had gotten compressed down and stuck. And those muscles had just gone, okay, instead of this getting worse, I'm going to lock this whole area down. It's not going to move anymore. And we're going to stay in this position, which is not healthy. All right. And then when I got that belly lift, it brought that spine up, relaxed all those muscles, and then he finally got relief. And then everything was loose from that point on. So why don't you guys tell me, you guys can unmute, tell me some ideas you might have. And I know that you can't see, I know you can't see, you know, his stall and him, but what are some ideas? What would make a spine go like that? Now, I'm gonna tell you one thing, he is not ridden. Okay, he does not get ridden. So that's one thing you can kind of X out.
I wonder, oops, is that me?
Go ahead, Carol.
His head, those really high metal feeders, and he has to hold his head at a weird angle.
100%.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too, is his feet is too high.
Yep. So he has, and you might have seen it in my other, no, I think I had my camera hanging off of it. He's a little guy. He's a little guy. He's short. He's a little thing. And his hay feeder is up on a wall like he's a warm blood. So he's doing this to eat all day, every day. Okay. So my homework, well, it wasn't homework. It was my recommendation is I said, his feed needs to be on the ground for the next week. And you might want to talk, because he's boarded. I said, you might want to talk to the owner about either dropping that hay bin feeder down or he gets feed on the ground. Okay. The other thing that some people don't think about is his stall door is really high. He's little. Okay. So his stall door to stick his little head out is like that. And he loves looking out because he's a social little Arabian. Okay. He loves having his little head out. So I told, and you know, obviously if it's your barn, you can adjust the doors, but an alternative to that, and he makes poor life choices. I know I said that in the video. So, you know, sometimes you got to be careful when you know your horse. But those gates that go across the door instead of doors, the little like vinyl gates or, you know, a metal gate, you can put that where you want it. I mean, this is a wood barn. So, you know, I'd cut the door down is what I would do because that's always his stall. He's always in there. He's been in there for years. So he'd have a stall door that matches his height. That's all. Okay. Because he doesn't get a ton of turnout and he's little. So all day long, he holds his head up all day. And he hasn't had his spine like that before, not to that severity. So, you know, time to take action on that because he was hurting and he was stuck. He was stuck. Okay. So yeah, very good. So that was fun. You guys can check that out if you want to. Okay. Any questions on that video for any of you who've seen it? You guys can take your time and watch it when you like. It's kind of cool. Feel free to, oops, I don't have my chat open. Hold on. It's a great video. Thanks, Kay. Yeah, Heather, I did struggle for real. I did struggle. Should have issued a spoiler alert before discussing this video. Yeah, I was going through everything, man. You know, there's times in the video where you can see me and I'm just going like, what the heck is like, I'm just trying to work it out. So I think my last sentence in that was, don't give up, you guys. Like, I want you guys to have some sleepless nights about some stuff to the point where you're like, I gotta figure this out. I wonder what Erin's doing at 2 a.m. I should message her, okay? Right? Do it. I don't care. Okay? It's all for the horses. All right? Okay, very cool. So next thing we're going to talk about is our homework for Journey Through the Horse. You guys did ting points last week. That was awesome. Good job. We're going to have new homework this week. I have stuff running. Hold on. I got the thing running. Okay. Let me pull that up so we can take a look at it. I'll tell you what it is so you can write it down if you want to. It's going to be spine rub, and it's going to be rib rake. Rib rake, spine rub. Rib rake, spine rub. Okay. Rib rake. Here is the video for rib rake. So what I want to do, what time is it? Yeah, we have time. This is a 3-minute video where I go over your homework, okay? So easy peasy. Let's listen to this video real quick. Spine rub is easy, so you guys can go over that on your own here. Let's watch this. Y'all can see this, right?
Okay, so the next section we're going to work on is the ribs. There's a lot of stuff that you can take a look at on the ribs for horses. Ribs are very important because the muscle in between the ribs, called the intercostals, is what helps your horse breathe. So in and out requires muscles. All right. So what I like to do on ribs is first I'm just going to feel them back and forth, see if I can feel any particular tight spots or spots that don't feel like other places. So there's a little indentation here on her. This is a little stuck out. Sometimes you can feel a wonky rib, so that's something you want to pay attention to. A lot of times there's a lot of fascia right in here. So sometimes you'll see a fascia line right there that can get really tight. So that's when this fascia has tightened up. So that's something that you can look at. I personally stand back here to do the ribs because I like going in this motion more, but you have freedom to do what you want to do. So I'm just going to rub my hands back and forth on the ribs and see if anything sticks out as something that'll need to be worked on. She feels pretty darn good. And then what I like to do is I'm going to take my fingers, spread them apart about that far, and just go up the ribs. So the ribs go at kind of an angle. And I want to see if I can feel in between each rib. Up and down. A lot of times what you'll run into is some of the ribs are tight and some of them are loose. So you can just continue to go up and down these ribs. Now, if your horse has really tight ribs or they are uncomfortable, or if they have ulcers, they may not like this. So just be aware of that. So I'm going to go up and down the ribs. And if you find a tight area, you can spend time trying to open the space in between their ribs. Hers feel pretty good. So I'm going to go up and down like this for a while, and then I can go across. So you can do one motion where you're pushing forward, and that's going to release one of the ribs or the muscles in between the ribs. And then you can do one where you're actually pushing back. So I'm pushing back here. What's really cool about the intercostals is that one of them attaches this way and the other set attaches that way. And one of them is in charge of inhaling and one of them is in charge of exhaling. Super fun. What you'll find a lot of the time when you're doing this is the horse, if they have tight ribs and you loosen them up, will take a really big breath, or they'll blow out really extreme, or they'll go and shudder when they breathe. So it's really fun to have that response.
You guys see that release she just did?
So back and forth, you can do circles on the ribs. If you find a spot that's really tight, or you can tell the fascia or the muscles have gotten tight, you can do a pat. That can sometimes loosen them right
Harder.
up.
Harder.
All the way down.
I'll start critiquing my own videos here.
Rub it around. And then see if your horse enjoys a particular move the most. There's the rib rub.
Okay. Hold on. So this is Bling. You guys know Bling. This is Rebecca's horse. Okay. So step one, warm the area up. Warm flat hand, nice and soft. Do some circles, warm it up. Okay. How much pressure are you using? Great question, Kay. It varies. So when you're starting off, you're warming it up, it's going to be light pressure. You're just getting the idea of bringing blood to the, bringing blood to the area, keeping it warm, getting the fascia in the groove, making the area, horses a lot of times, if you haven't noticed, sometimes just bringing attention to an area, especially when I'm asking you guys to release this part, when you bring this leg back for the leg range of motion and the bicep right here is tight, I will tell you to put your fingers right here. Y'all know that? Okay. What are you doing? You are bringing attention to the area that is tight. Okay. So bring attention to the area. So warm the area up, bring attention to it. Let the horse know I'm going to work on this area now. Okay. So first you're going to do warm it up. Second, you are going to put your hands in a rake. Okay. The ribs are about this wide. I have big hands. So those of you that have little hands, you're going to have to a little further, right? But the ribs are this size. So when you're raking, your fingers will naturally go in between three ribs. Okay. So the first thing I want you to do is rake down. Rake down. This is the least aggressive. So I think in the video I showed you, you can rake up right off the bat. The clinic would probably look a little different if I did it again now. So it was a couple years ago. Rake down. That is that's the least aggressive. Rake with the ribs. And what you're going to find is as you go down the ribs, you're going to find some of them are really tight. Okay. Some of them, you rake in between them, no problem. But let's say these two are stuck. Let's say those two are stuck and you're trying to get your finger in there. It's not going in. Okay. And then you got to get that finger in there and get those ribs to loosen up. Okay. And then after you've gone down, go up because that's more intense. Go up the ribs. You're going to find different like little speed bumps. You might find some trigger points, stuff like that. Okay. Then what you're going to do is you're going to start here. Let me go back to screen share here. You're going to start in the front and you're going to push backward. Now this is less intense, pushing backward. After that, you're going to push forward. That's more intense. The ribs go backward much easier than they go forward. Okay. And like I said in the video, some attach like this. So the insertion point, the origin point is at the back of the front rib, and then it inserts to the front of the rib behind it. And then the other part is reversed. Okay. So they're like this. And one of them is in charge of opening the rib cage, which helps with inhalation. And the other one is in charge of closing the rib cage, which helps with exhalation. Okay. So that's your forward and back move. And then I want you to slap. Now, Kay, for your question, what is the pressure? You're going to start light and go harder. Kind of like how I teach with everything. Start light, go harder. And you're going to find that works pretty well with everything that you're doing. Okay. So start light, go harder. With the slapping, start light, but go hard pretty quick. Go hard pretty quick. So get those ribs loosened up. And what's cool is that what happens after the ribs get loosened up is that rib cage opens more. So in turn, they take a bigger, deeper breath, which brings oxygen to areas of their lungs that maybe haven't gotten oxygen. And then they will either cough, go into a little coughing fit, they will sneeze, blow out, or take a deep breath. Okay, if their ribs were tight. This also happens in the show ring. Okay, this happens in the show ring. This happens in the warm-up pen where your horse was tight and nervous. And after you warmed them up for 5-10 minutes, all of a sudden they go into a coughing fit or they take a deep breath and they finally relax. Georgia does it all the time. It's about 5-10 minutes in. She puts her head down and does some aggressive coughs. Okay. It's because she finally relaxed her rib cage enough to bring that air in. So pay attention to that when you're riding. That's cool too. All right, so that's your homework. Spine rub, rib break. Let me know if you guys get some coughs or get some deep breaths or anything like that. Feel free to videotape that. And then also right here, especially during fly season, you know, you can get that line right there. And then there's also kind of a line up here. Get that to go away. Get that to go away. You can do it. Move the skin around. That's fascia. Okay. Yes, you can, Leanne. That's your goal. Hey, I saw that. I saw that. Now I want a video. Now I want before and after photos. That was your fault. Okay. You got to be aggressive. Get your husband out there. Make him work. Okay. So there you go. That's that. Any questions on those two? The spine rub is easy. It's just like, burp, 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 burp. Okay. And then I just noticed that I have some videos in my queue I need to watch. So I will do that tonight. Okay. All right. So next thing we're going to talk about, so fun, is a little pony named Mac. Oh, let me find a photo. Hold on. Hold on. I have a photo. Here. All right, let me pull up a little photo of Mac here. Jenny's gonna come on. Boop, there he is. Come on, computer, do your thing, please. Oh, isn't he cute little nugget? He is a cute little nugget. All right. Can you guys see that? I can't see you guys. No? Okay, hold on. Whoa, hold on. I almost ended the meeting. We almost got kicked off on here. There. Can you guys see that? Cute little nugget right there. Okay. So Jenny, unmute and tell us the little story of Mac, please.
So I got Mac 3 weeks ago from my vet. She had him for a couple of months. He was relinquished to her. She had gotten called out to do a euthanasia because he bucked a grandkid off, and my vet doesn't do euthanasias for that kind of behavior. If it was more of a dangerous behavior, then fine. But so she was able to talk them into relinquishing him. I lost my halflinger at the beginning of August, and my appy mare has been very lonely. So my vet asked if I would take him. So I said I'd take him on a trial and see how he does. And now he's been here 3 weeks and he's going to stay. Can't hear you, Erin.
Tell us about his behavior when you got him. Like, what was his deal? What was he like?
So he's very flighty. He does not relax. If he's not eating, he's pacing. He has dug a ditch into my new gravel, and I have to rake it every morning. Except for the last few days, he hasn't done that. So I think he's starting to settle in. But very flighty. Anytime you make a sudden movement, he bolts away from you. Very nervous around me and the kids. Had not until recently shown interest in being near us. He's fine to halter, he's fine for the farrier, but he's just very, very nervous and does not want to be nearby. That was that picture that you're showing now was his first day here, and that's as close as I could get to him.
Yeah, that's wild. And look at how he's standing, you guys. Look at his head placement, his eyes, ears are on alert, right?
Yeah, his ears are either on alert or they're back because he's angry. You can always see the whites of his eyes. He's never has a relaxed eye until yesterday.
I mean, honestly, guys, you know that ebook that I made, 7 Telltale Signs of Tension? Like, I could have used his face for that, right?
Yes.
Right. Look at Martha back there. She's like, life's good, dude. Chill out. It's fine. Relax. Promise. Promise is good. Okay. So, Jenny sent me these 2 videos, and I want to watch them with you guys because I'm excited. I'm so excited. Let me see here. Oh, and then, so you had actually messaged me, right?
A while.
And I gave you, yeah. And tell me what you had messaged me, and then tell me what my advice to you was originally.
For
the
the grounding. You
Yes.
had recommended trying to ground with him, which I had already done, but he does not tolerate being touched on the flank and the pole. So you recommended trying the withers and the flank and then working up and even just hovering over. And he did a couple of laps around me, but eventually he stood still enough for me to hover over his withers and his flank. And then he got to the point where I could touch his withers and his flank for grounding. The pole on the flank was a little bit, he tolerated it for a few seconds and then he'd walk away.
Okay. So with horses, when they can't, like, you can see the irritation in him there.
Mm-hmm.
When you can't touch them, you have to find a starting point. And if that starting point is 4 inches off, 12 inches off, 4 feet off, 10 feet off, that's where it's at. Okay. So what I wanted her to do is do grounding, which is hand on the wither, hand on the loin. Okay, you guys, I have a video of that, so if you need it, you can check it out. But you literally put your hand here and here, and you just go, okay, I'm just going to think good thoughts, and I'm just going to hang out, and I'm going to be with this horse, and I'm not going to have any expectation, and I'm not going to, you know, rush it, and we're just going to hang out, and it calms them. But he couldn't handle that. It was too much. So she had to start, and then, you know, to be honest with you, further, from the pole to the loin is actually the best, if you can do that, pole to the loin. And on him, I told her, I was like, oh, you could probably do pole to the loin. And she was like, I can't touch his hind end. I go, okay, gotcha. Okay, so I want to look at these 2 videos. Oh, that one was the second one. Which one do I want to watch here? Let me see.
So I was working on his neck, and then he presented his side. So I started petting his side.
Look where she's
By
touching.
the way, this is the first time I've been able to touch his butt. He did great for the farrier the other day, but a minute ago he just turned his butt into me. And I wasn't sure if he was gonna kick me or if he was telling me he wanted me to scratch him. But I think he wants me to scratch him.
And I wasn't sure if he was going to kick me because his ears are back the entire time. And I'm like,
the angry
yeah,
ears,
he can see
so
Yeah.
I don't know. He's a pony though. He does not like slaps.
Not yet.
He did not find.
not yet.
Okay,
Not
you're
yet.
all right.
Okay.
You hit your head on the bars.
He woke himself up.
Look it.
See, I think he's asking for more butt scratches.
He is asking for more.
100% not to kick me.
I know.
So I was working on his
Okay.
neck, and then he
So,
presented-
I want to talk a little bit about this video because this is so typical of a horse who has had to protect themselves. Okay, so a couple things I've talked about that happens is that when horses don't feel safe, they don't feel like they have been listened to or treated fairly, or you know, or have been abused, or have been I call it, they're a number. Okay, you guys know people that have horses that are numbers. Well, this one did this and this one has made me this much money, and you know, go get that horse, the red one, you know, they don't have a name, stuff like that. So when horses are put into situations like that, I think, I'm sure there's more things that they do, but they normally have two solutions. One, they get shut down, or two, they act out. He did both, kind of, to be honest with you. So bucking is not a malicious behavior. It's communication of people that aren't paying attention. Okay, so he is not comfortable in situations. Why on earth would you put a grandchild on him? Right? Because, well, ponies are cute. They're supposed to be good for kids. Nah, not when they're in this state of mind. And I don't know how long she had him for, but he probably gave 10 cues that he was not ready or willing to have a child put on him, and they didn't listen. Okay, so when you have horses in situations where people do not listen, they either get shut down, and I think most of you have probably seen horses like that where they're like, there's nothing there, they're glazed over. Okay, they're in like a full constant state of depression, right? I run across them. I run across $40,000 that are $40,000 horses that are shut down in the dressage world. They get shipped here from who knows where, okay? And they don't have a personality. They are shut down. And I can tell right away by the way they interact with me. And I have wonderful clients who are like, I just want a baseline on this horse. He just got here from, you know, who knows where. I just want to see how he's doing. And I go, physically, he's okay. Mentally, he's shut down. And I am so excited that you have him now. I'm so excited for this horse. Okay. So same with Jenny. I'm so excited she has this little pony because his life's going to change. Okay. So they're shut down or they act out because, so Georgia was also both. I mean, I guess probably they would be both, to be honest with you. But Georgia was dangerous, my horse, when I got her. She was not to be trifled with. Okay. You know, I'm sure we've all kind of heard, and similar situation to Chester. So Chester was going to be put down because he kicked a girl and broke her leg. Okay. So he has issues that need to be handled. You cannot ignore this stuff. All right. So acting out or shutting down. So this little pony is incredibly shut down and just wants, like he doesn't even know yet that he wants relaxation. He is still in survival mode. Does that make sense? Okay. You know, he shocked himself when he hit his head on the bars. Okay. Because he was starting to enjoy it more. Okay. She got her hand on his rump and then he turned his butt toward her. That's pretty exciting. Okay. And then he like scared himself and he got kind of relaxed and then bumped his head on the bars and then looked back at her like it was her fault. Right here. Right. He was like, I bumped my head. I think you did it. You know, I don't know how to handle that. Okay. One thing I'll tell you about his little pony ears, these are not mat ears. Those are not mat ears.
Are they listening
Okay.
ears?
Yeah, they're intent, right? They're intense ears and they're listening, but those are not mad ears.
Okay.
I promise you, if he's really mad, these ears are gonna be flat.
Flat. Okay.
They're gonna be flat. And if he were to, and I'm not saying, oh, he's not gonna kick you, get in there. You know, I'm not saying that. Don't do that, right? Don't do that until both of you are comfortable. But if he were to kick, you'd see that head go up like that. His ears would be straight back and his little butt would pop up.
Okay.
Okay. But take your time, be cautious. Like I'm still super cautious with Chester and he's doing excellent. Okay, so there was a lot of cool stuff happening in this video, and this is the beginning of this little pony saying, I don't trust you yet, but that little scratchy deal thing that you do on my rump, I like that. So I'm gonna let you, don't make me regret it. Okay, he's still in that position. But go ahead and scratch my butt, right? Kind of that one spot that you were doing. And this is opening doors, opening doors. So, you know, you did a pretty good job on the shoulder up here. And he goes, well, maybe that would feel good a little further back on the old glutes. Okay. And then you made the glutes feel good. Can you guys see the tension in these glutes here? How they're all raised. So he should have a big fat pony butt. And he has this like pointy, weird butt. Okay, this is all tension. That's all tension. This is gonna round out. I want you to get some photos of him, Jenny.
Okay.
Photos. I mean, where he's standing square, front, back, side, aerial view, get a drone that goes around, takes photos of him. Because when you're done with him, he's gonna look like a different little pony. It's gonna look different. Okay. So that's all tension there. That's causing this pelvis to tuck more than it should. That's why he's quick to bolt. Okay. I got a feeling these ears have a ton of tension in them. Have you touched them ears yet?
Nope.
Take your time. Take your time. Don't
Yep,
go there right now.
I massaged around the ears, but then he starts to get head shy if I get a little too close to them.
Yeah. I might accidentally fall into your yard one day and I might have to go out there. Okay.
We would love that.
But you know, this little pony is going to transform and we're going to all join in the party together. Okay. So Jenny's going to give us regular updates and we're going to get to watch this little pony, which is going to be really exciting. Okay. And then let me look at this one. I can't remember which one this one was.
Like he's got the angriest ears,
Oh yeah.
but then he just took a step back towards me.
Look, he's backing in on her, guys. He's backing in on her.
Why are you so angry about it?
He's not. He says, I'm just confused. I have a lot of emotions going through my body right now. Okay.
But then he just took a step back towards me.
So
And now he's backing up.
this is the poster child of backing in. He's like, I'm gonna want you to rub my butt, but he has some emotions about it. Okay. Martha's over there telling him it's fine. Just back in. It's all good.
That's what
Okay.
she does.
That's right. He probably watched her like you just back up into her and she doesn't like smack you on the butt or anything. And yeah. And so that's gonna be fun. The other thing you mentioned is that he does not like the slaps.
No.
Okay, not
He's
yet.
okay, he's okay with the fist, but not the slaps. And I don't know if it's the
Yeah.
sound or if it's the feel. I don't know what it is for him.
It is probably the intensity and the sound, and that slaps in the past were a very negative thing. But he's gonna get over it. I promise you, he's gonna like him. He's gonna like him after a while. But we're
Okay.
not gonna rush that. That's not a priority. But he'll like him. Just
Okay.
like he's gonna like everything else. It's fine. You know, all good. Okay. So we did good. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was like, I gotta rush through all this stuff. Any questions on little Mac? We should start a little blog about him or something. We'll do something. We'll do something funny.
I will say that yesterday after I finished on the right side of his neck, he wasn't holding his head nearly as high and I could not see the whites of his eye.
Yeah,
He was
exactly.
in a relaxed eye and it was awesome.
Yeah. No shocker at all. That's how it's gonna, oh yeah, good question, Marge. How old is he? He's
17.
Yeah. He's got years of attention we got to get out of him. Years. Promise you. There's years stuck in there. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Okay. Any other questions? Any questions about anything? Any questions about homework or what have you? Okay. I just filmed a a video on the tail. So I'm gonna get that loaded up after this call. And then I'm gonna throw that out there for you guys so you can check that out. And you have your homework. And then if you have any questions, oh, one thing, and I know all of you have pretty much already seen this. I'm pretty sure all of you have. But I had a lot of people contact me after I went to that nursing home and they were like, oh, clinic schedule. I think I sent that to you. Okay, didn't I? I'll look for it right now. But I had a lot of people message me that they didn't see the updates on my page, and I was confused because they were definitely up there. But then I was talking to someone and they said if people aren't like liking and commenting and sharing stuff, they don't get the posts that you put out when you put them out. They get them whenever Facebook says that you get them. So that's what happened there. And so if you want the posts, here we go, share. If you want to see stuff on time, like, comment, share, all that same garbage everybody always talks about. It's annoying, you know, it's annoying. Yeah. Oh, Sue could get her hands out there and get on Mac too. But it is what it is. So if you can do all those fun things like comment, share. Okay, so here is my, oh yeah, here's my clinic dates, Kay, for you. So Spokane is going to be October 5th and 6th. This one got canceled, and we may I'm thinking of doing something special for them because this was for a rescue. So I'm thinking of doing something. I'm trying to figure out what to do though. Spokane, Wenatchee is my advanced clinic. That's going to be super fun. And then Issaquah is on the 19th and 20th, Issaquah, Washington. Okay. I'm just going to send this to you. Copy image. I'll put that up for you, okay, so you can see it. But yeah, there you go. Okay. I'll put that right there. You guys can all watch me do this. Paste. Where is it at? Please paste it there. Okay. So any questions? Any other questions?
I just want to say your videos are excellent. I love how you overlay the little horse pictures sometimes to show us the body parts we're working on, and just really very impressive. So thank you.
You know, thank you. That's funny. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, this is a funny story. So remember in that video I just showed you where Molly did all that work. Molly was the brains of that. I was just the so-called talent. But Molly put all those things, and then she would also do, let me see if I still have it up. I'm going to share this with you guys. This is funny. Share screen. Okay, so see how right here she does fun facts, fun fact stuff. She goes true ribs. The ribs connect completely between the spinal column and the sternum. The remaining ribs are called floating ribs. Well, she initially, I had to make sure I checked all the writing she did to make sure it was correct. She initially sent me that, and when I read it, she goes, and the remainder of the ribs are called the short ribs. And I go, why did my mouth start watering, number one? And number two, are they called the short ribs? I've never heard that before. And so then I was like, oh no, maybe they are called the short ribs and I don't know that. That's embarrassing. So I looked it up, and they are not called the short ribs. They are called the floating ribs, which is what I knew them as. And so I sent her a picture of a rack of ribs, and I was like, hey, Molly, just so you know, they're not called short ribs. They're called floating ribs. And so that cracked me up. And then for the next couple of days, I just sent her pictures of, ribs randomly. And I thought that was funny. So yeah, thank you. That was a lot of that is Molly. And then I had a guy in my marketing class look at my YouTube, And I go pick it apart. I know it's garbage. I just started putting stuff on there. And so he took one of my, videos and he put it up and he said, this is what I would do. And he did, the red letters and how you do that and da da. And then he overlaid a part of a skeleton over George's elbow and had me pointing to it. And then he goes, so I would kind of do something like that to grab people's attention and bring them in, and they're going to want to check out what you're pointing at. And he's like, I can send you this thumbnail if you want. And I go, okay, cool. But he had used a human elbow. And I was like, I can't use that, man. I'm sorry, I can't do that. Because it was so obvious a human elbow. Oh gosh. So yeah, that was fun there. All right, any other questions? That's it. That's all I got too. You guys have an amazing rest of your weekend. Should we do a health check on Wanda? She's not here. I got them a little worried about her. All right, you guys have a great weekend. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Thanks, everyone. Bye. Bye, Leanne.